So we're going live any second. Whoa, drum roll. I shouldn't have had that coffee this morning.
I love watching you struggle with technology. It's hilarious.
I think we're live now. Actually, I think we're live on Facebook as we speak. So I'm delighted to welcome my client Arlene this morning. We're going to do some question and answer times and stuff like that as well. So, how's your week gone?
I think I've had better weeks, to be honest. Isn't it funny? I think the weather has an awful lot to do with it. I think sort of my mental attitude changes, I think, when the weather changes. And I feel very tired this week. It's probably the wind, I think. But having said that, I know the better weather is coming, and that does really affect my mood. I think in the winter I struggle. I haven't been diagnosed with SAD, but I definitely am affected. So I think this sort of the return to cooler, darker, windier weather has certainly had a bit of an impact this week. You were looking for positivity, weren't you? Absolutely.
No, but I think I'd like to. This is kind of like what we do when we have our live chats anyway. So it's good to get that kind of off your chest. And this is what our weekly live chats are about: is finding out how your week's gone, and then we can plan the week ahead to make it better than last week.
Can you do anything about the weather, Daniel?
Well, there's nothing. I'll see what I can do. You know, I'll see what I'll go and do like a wee pray tonight in the garden.
Okay.
So, how's your nutrition been this week then? How do you think that's gone?
Nutrition wise, I'm usually pretty good actually. I'm trying to do my 5 points. So, you know, I usually have a really good healthy breakfast. I try and do healthy snacks, oranges, having a lot of vitamin C at the moment. Try and do a healthier lunch. And I do HelloFresh as well. So I usually go for really quite healthy options on that. So it forces me into cooking healthier. So I'm actually not bad. It's just if I go to the supermarket, then I buy stuff, put it in the trolley, and then I know it's in the house. So I try not to do that. But it's not too bad. Health nutrition wise, it's been okay. A couple of dips, alcohol being one of them. Daniel, you and I have had this discussion many times before. But I think what's taken a hit this week is my exercise. I'm still walking every day, and a really good walk every day. And I've had quite a heavy week of work. But I haven't been out doing my couch to 5K because I just didn't feel I had the energy to do it. So I'm trying to listen to my body. I'll I really enjoy the exercise when I feel that my body is up for it. But and maybe that's just the lazy bit of me talking, but I don't think so. I think it's just I'm trying to listen to my body, and when it feels really tired, I just think it's silly to push it to a point where I could injure myself or just wipe me out for days.
Okay, well, we're on a proven plan at the moment that's getting success, and you know, you're submitting your food to me every day. You're managing the 5 eating points, and you're sending me the vital signs to let you know are you fatigued. So you know, like you've had 3 good weeks of exercise, pretty consistent, and then a week where it's been like that. But that's normal. That's normal to me. Like, so I've planned my training out. This was my light week this week, so I've done 4 weeks of training. I'm back on my plan like yourself. I'm back training for my events. I've got my half marathon, my half Ironman, and my marathon at the end of the year, self-supported, just so anybody wants to know. But yeah, I've done 3 weeks of decent training. I've had a light this week, which is good because it's allowed my body to recover. So I was just planning my training out for the week ahead, which we do every week. I've planned my own training ahead, and it's going to be a little bit harder this week. So I'm kind of, I go up, then I have a little bit of recovery. So that's normal. I think it's accepting.
Okay, good.
That's okay.
Does me think it was just me being lazy?
No. I think you know your fatigue levels have been a little bit higher, and it's about managing those fatigue levels. There's no point in then going out and going for a hard run when your fatigue levels are already high. You've got to manage them to come down again, and then we can start. Then you're ready to commence. I think people go off, and I say it all the time, from that zero to hero. So I've got a couple of questions for you. What advice, it's slightly off the piece of exercise and nutrition, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh, gee whiz. Well, when it comes to mental health, just like yourself a bit more, you know. I think we as you grow up, you tend to strive to be something that you're maybe not and never going to be. And I think you sometimes can give yourself a bit of a hard time. I think the media doesn't help with that. And it's worse now, I think, for younger people. So just, you know, never take no for an answer, always pursue your dreams, but like yourself a little bit more. I think I'm quite self-deprecating. I don't take myself very seriously. And maybe that's a lack of confidence in a way, which is bizarre given the job that I do. But I think that it stems from that. And I think maybe if I'd had that sort of advice growing up, just like yourself a bit more, and people will like you, and you know, they'll accept you for who you are. I think that's quite an important one. It is funny, isn't it, though, how your attitude changes as you get older, you know. The stuff that was important to me, you know, in my 20s and 30s, you know, striving for a career and all the rest of it, and trying to juggle being a mum and a wife and and all the rest of it. And you get to this point, I'm 52 now, and you just think none of that is important. Actually, just a healthy mind, a healthy body, you know, being with the people who you care about, that's the most important thing, you know. And I think it just takes living life to get to that point in your life. So I want to have a healthy mind, I want to have a healthy body, and you're helping with both of those things, Daniel, and I thank you very much for that. Because you've seen me in very bleak places, and it's funny because, you know, doing the job that I do as a radio presenter, I can click into that mode. I mean, essentially I am me on the radio, but if you're having a bad day, you tend not to let everybody know about it. Otherwise they'd switch off, quite frankly, and I'd get the sack. So you are yourself to a point, but I think I know when I'm not mentally strong, and I never really been that bothered with it. But more recently, it's important to me that I'm with people who I love, and I get my mind and my body in a place where I'm really happy with it. You know, that was a bit of a long-winded answer. Sorry about that.
It's a good answer. So it's a bit like more like, you know, what we've talked about over the weeks and stuff, and with your coaching and stuff, looking after yourself, really.
Yeah, being good to yourself. Yeah,
you know, you've kind of went through this. Maybe I suppose like the advice you would give to your younger self would be, you know, it was all about the career, it was all about, you know, family and everybody else, and kind of really, what about Arlene?
Yeah, I know, and I have been. It's I think you fall into two camps. You're either a taker or you're a giver. That sounds slightly rude, but you know, stick with me. And I've always been a giver, you know, so I just, you know, whatever my needs and stuff always came last. It was always, you know, the children, the house, the job, making sure friends, family are all sorted and all the rest of it. And I think I just ran out of steam. You get to a point where you're just so exhausted with everything in life. It starts to knock your confidence, your mental health, you know, and it's just so important to listen to your body. And when you feel those signs, do something about it. And for me, it's having a better diet. It's getting out and exercising. That's it for me. I need to do something every day to keep me positive and to keep me strong. And if my body is feeling good, my mind is.
I mean, that's an excellent answer. And I've got another question for you on that as well, because I work with a lot of busy professionals like yourself. And certainly I've heard that, you know, mums and work and careers, and, you know, they're putting everybody else first. I had a conversation with one of my clients this week, and I mean, her kids are all older, but she's still, some of them, I think one of them's moved back, and it's like they're almost reverting back to being teenagers again. That's another issue altogether. But yeah, they're putting their family first. They're doing everything else for everybody else instead of themselves. So what advice would you kind of give to them then?
I think you have to be really strict with your time. And this is me preaching from a place that I never did this, and I should have done this. But actually, you need to set aside and have a routine. And it is all about planning, Daniel. And I think your sort of training program is good for is you're planning out your week. And you plan out your week for everything else. You plan out your childcare, you know, when you have to go to the shops, when you're going to cook that meal, or, you know, when you're meeting friends for coffees. Why don't we do this with our own mental and physical health? We should be planning it into our day. So I know people's lives are so incredibly busy, especially if you've got younger kids. But for goodness sake, make that plan and stick to it. Because if you have that, it'll be your oasis of calm. It'll be a moment where you can, and it doesn't have to be exercise. It could be having a bath with candles, or soothing music, or something, a bit of time to find yourself again, you know. And it's so important. I think as a person who's professionally very busy and in a stressed environment, and maybe having to juggle home care as well. And this is not just for women, this is for men as well. You have to plan that in, you know. So get it in your diary. Know when you're going to have that little oasis, and that'll keep you going.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. I love planning. You know, it's what I love planning. I plan everything, and it's like that with you know, I've got a business. I plan my business. Everything's planned. You know, my training's planned. I've got my whole annual training plan planned. You know, maybe that's a bit too far. But yeah, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I think you're right. It is about planning that. And like, I hear people come, I've been doing this for 20 years, and I've heard people say, oh, time and all this kind of stuff. I'll start after the lockdown. And it's like, you know, I don't have the time just now or whatever, you know. It's planning that time. Time management is priority management. It's getting that planned in there for you. So I've got another question for you. So that was a really good answer. And we kind of got in a good bit of conversation there. In terms of your job and stuff, what have you learned about yourself since becoming a celebrity?
Oh, God. Well, for a start, I don't call myself a celebrity. That's just, you know, it just, you know, don't like it. But what have I learned about myself? I think well, certainly maybe when I started out in this business, I mean, I started out quite young, sort of 19, doing stuff on Grampian Telly up in Aberdeen, and sort of did loads of stuff up there, news reading and various things and voiceovers and stuff, and then moved down to STV in sort of children's telly, and then moved across to the BBC and did loads of different things. So I've, you know, throughout my career, I've never really said no to anything, and I have tried different challenges, which has been good. But sometimes, and it's this whole thing, you know, what would you say to your younger self is just try and be yourself and be good to yourself. You know, you're fine with who you are. You don't have to try and be somebody you're not. And I think there was an awful lot of that of me. I listen back to things and it's horrendous, you know, me talking with a very strange voice and kind of stuff. So probably in the last 10 years, I've really, I feel it's like wearing an old pair of slippers. It just feels comfortable now. I don't have to try and be something I'm not. I like who I am. If other people don't like who I am, then that's fair enough. You know, everyone's entitled to their own choices. But I like personally who I am. I'm a good person. I think I'm a kind person. It's just my body image that I struggle with, and you know, and that is something that I'm trying to address. You know, so yeah, I think what have I learned? That I'm a good person, and I'm good enough for me.
Okay. In terms of the body image, then what do you mean by that?
The only thing I'm doing telly at the moment, but I'm not a fan of telly really, because you become so self-obsessed with how you look, and people judge, you know, they don't mean to, but they go, oh, your hair's different. And then they don't qualify that with, I like it or I don't like it. They just leave it hanging there. And normally I laugh these things off, but they do get in there. They do start to just erode away, you know, and these are small things, you know, but when you have a number of these things, it starts to take its toll. And because I have to stand up in front of people that I've never met before and be this person, you know, sort of quite bubbly and over the top and sometimes quite funny and a bit rude sometimes, and, you know, and just be the entertainer. It's difficult to do that if you're not feeling 100% confident about your body. And, you know, I had various surgery as a kid, and that's just left me looking like a bit of a burst couch, you know, in my sort of lower abdominal area. And we all have issues, I know that, you know, whether it's having a muffin top or big thighs or massive bottom or skinny legs or whatever, we all have issues with it. But those are my issues, and you know, I'm trying to do something about it. Maybe if it bothered me more, I would do more about it. But yeah, it's getting that balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but I think if I feel fitter and I'm looking healthier, again, that improves my mental health, you know. And it is funny how everybody talks about mental health now. We've always had these issues, but nobody really spoke about it. So it's maybe quite nice that we're getting to a point where actually the two are very much connected, you know, how you feel about your body and how it affects your brain, you know.
I suppose it goes back to that learning to love yourself again.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, exactly.
That you talked about. So you mentioned that you didn't like to be known as a celebrity then. So what's it like to work with a celebrity trainer like myself?
Well, you came so highly recommended. I must thank that person the next time I see them.
People must think she's really lucky this morning. She's getting to talk to Dan live on Facebook. You know, just unbelievable. You know, you know. Yeah, it's really interesting. So, what things in life are still a mystery to you then?
Mystery to me. How an airplane gets up in the sky.
I'm sure I could get my son to come up and explain that to you, because he's quite into his aeroplanes and he's got a little tracker, and we've been tracking aeroplanes all week. We've seen a Hercules fly over the other day. It came running out. There's a Hercules outside, Dad. There's a Hercules outside. So, yeah, okay. That's quite a good answer.
Yeah. But other than that, I think probably still a mystery is getting to that point. And I look at my parents, and my dad is 82 and my mum is coming up for 76. And they're both very young and fit and healthy. Great attitude to life, you know, and they're just always getting out there and gardening and walking. And well, obviously with the lockdown, it's slightly more challenging for them. But, you know, they're in this place together, and they're so lucky they've had this. I mean, yes, I'm sure they've had their ups and downs, but getting that kind of relationship and accepting that, you know, there's going to be troubles, but you can get through it by just talking things through. That's still for me a bit of a mystery. You know, I've sort of been through the marriage and having kids and all the rest of it, and there are things that I did wrong and things that I maybe should have done differently. But I'm here at the other end, and I just want a happy life, and I want to enjoy the rest of my life in a fit and healthy way with a really positive attitude. And that's my personal challenge, is to get to that point. So finding that place is still a mystery to me yet.
Okay. So what things would you give up in an instant if you were to go to that better place tomorrow then?
Alcohol. What would I give up? I would, you know, I would give up, you know, sort of on Facebook when you have 400 friends or whatever. And I apologize if I do have anybody watching this who is a friend on Facebook, but, you know, I would give up the people that I don't really know or see or have that connection with. Actually, what's important to me is the people who I really have that connection with. And I'll continue to make connections with people down the line, but, you know, not stress about the people I'm not that bothered about. This is terrible. I'm being so honest with you. But whereas before, I would always have kept in touch with people and met with them, and time is tight. You don't have that kind of time to spend with people that maybe aren't good for you, you know? So yeah, give all of them up in an instant.
You've given up alcohol. You've given up all the people that you don't know on Facebook. Okay, right? Any more?
I actually think what I have in my life now is I really love my work. I love what I do, and it's busy. I get up at 4 o'clock Monday to Friday, and I get up at 6 o'clock on a Saturday. It's a long lie. And I do a show on a Sunday night, and I do another 5 pre-recorded shows as well for another station. So, and then Landward, and then events. So life is really busy, but I really love it. I really love it. So as long as I continue to really enjoy what I do, I'll hopefully be in a lucky position to be able to continue doing what I do. So I don't really need to give that up. Going out, you know, going to pubs or going, you know, I'm not that fussed about it. I'm a homebody, so I don't need to give anything of that up. I don't smoke. I don't drink much. Maybe did have last night, actually, when I think about it. So there's not an awful lot I could give up, really, because I tend to keep my life quite simple. And again, that's a sign of me getting to a point where I don't need all of that stuff.
Yeah, you're making some really big changes then, really, aren't you?
Yeah,
yeah. I know this program, in fact, I think I put a post out this morning about this program is not all about weight loss as well. It's about the mindset, the transformation.
Yes, yeah.
So it's about managing your stress, managing your time, you know, not just about a few pounds on a scale. I had a client this week and she's lost like 28 pounds and she's like, I'm not losing any more. And I'm like, you've done great. Think of
yeah.
In 12 weeks, she's transformed her physique. She's down 2 clothes sizes.
Quite hate her, actually. You know, that nice person I was telling you about.
Yeah. and then on the other hand, I had another client who's lost 10 pounds in like 5 weeks. Again, her physique's changed. You can see it on the progress pictures. And she still doesn't feel it or see it. And that's the frustrating thing sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Seeing that change.
Yeah. And it's funny because, you know, when you mentioned, because I don't like standing on the scales. I know where I am by my clothes, you know, and if I'm, you know, having to use a coat hanger to get into my jeans, I know I need to do something about it. So it's not so much the weight for me, but I just know when I'm doing exercise every day, I feel fitter, my posture is better, you know, and my breathing is better, everything is better. And that translates to a healthier mind for me. So it's not about weight for me. And when you force me to go and take my measurements and stand on the scales and stuff, I really hate it. Force me, and I don't like it very much. And when I check, you know, like a week later, even though I feel better, feel trimmer, feel just, you know, clothes are feeling better, it doesn't really translate on the scales. So that's a mystery to me. I don't know how that is. And I keep saying it must be fat turning to muscle.
Well, again, you know, you will lose cellulite and stuff like that as well. You know,
yeah.
You, even within a 4-week period, like I've been back on my training plan. Not that I had much cellulite, but I'm just making the point that 4 weeks back.
I've seen your thighs, Dan. You have it.
4 weeks back training again. My point is that I'm feeling better. Yeah. I'm going a little bit further. I've been out on my bike a couple of times this week, and I done more distance than last week, more distance than the week before, more distance. I'm just gradually building that up, and I feel great. Yeah, I feel great for that. I'm moving forward. I think that's the in fact, I think on my T-shirt at the back it says, "Don't look back. You're not going that way. Go forward in health with Momentum NRG." It's on the T-shirt at the back. So, you know,
strategically placed.
Exactly. Okay, so this is a big one. If you were God for a day, what changes would you make to the world?
I would get rid of skinny people. And no one is ever allowed to wear a bikini.
Now you're spoiling it now, Arlene. Come on.
If I was God for a day, you know, kindness is the one thing that I would absolutely insist that. But you see, here's the difficulty: that who we are, you know, the bitterness, the resentment, the anxiety, the nervousness, all of these things make us human, you know. That's what makes us human, because we have all of these emotions. We can express ourselves in so many different ways. But I think if we could get rid of all the negative stuff, so if I was God for a day, I would get rid of all of our negative thoughts, all of the negative feelings we have towards others, to different cultures, to different sexuality, to different religions. It's that, I think, that poisons our world, and I cannot abide it. It makes me sick to the stomach that people can treat other people in such an awful way. And it saddens me. I struggle to watch the news when I see a lot of the stuff that's going on. And actually, you know, going through this sort of lockdown situation, you know, it was nice to see people being nice to each other. Now, how long that will last is anyone's guess, really. But I really struggle with how people treat each other. And obviously, this is the exception rather than the norm. But if I was God for the day, I would make sure people got rid of all the negative stuff, and it was just all really positive. And kindness is the big thing. Being kind, I think that's my thing. Doesn't matter about anything else. Just being a kind, good person.
That's a great answer, Arlene. Well done. So. Why don't you need the gym to then get fit or trim up and get toned and, you know?
Well, it's a good question. I'm glad you've asked that, because I'm still paying my subscription.
I'll have to phone Valentine's.
Here's the thing.
He's next up on the interview. Yeah, I've got him.
Good.
He's on.
Well, tell him I say hi. He owes me a lot of money. You don't. That's the short answer. You absolutely don't. I've got two friends who go to the gym, you know, sort of pretty much every day, and it's not to do loads of stuff. It's good for their mental health, and it gets them away from the home environment. But actually, what I've loved about doing the sessions with you, Dan, is that you plan it into your week, and you have to take control of it. But you don't need to go to, and it's quite an expensive thing to pay for gym membership. You know, you don't need to do that. You just need to get yourself motivated. So even if you do this program and you do it with a friend, you know, so you meet up for your walk, or you meet up and do your couch to 5K run, or you do a wee home workout in the back garden or something, you don't need a gym membership. And the likelihood is that if you do have a gym membership, you probably won't use it as often as you should. Whereas getting into that habit of doing something every day works for me.
So having that structure and routine is
yeah, and the plan. The plan is the thing.
The kind of pillar number 3 and pillar number 4 of the momentum energy pillars, the exercise planning and the structure planning your week ahead. So why simply investing in a quality nutrition coach? Because I think I spend a lot of time coaching on the nutrition aspect for you. Mm-hmm. Will save you years of heartache and money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so,
yeah. You know, I think, like, I'm going to talk about, like, diets. I've done a little rant on my Facebook this week about why diets don't work. So what do you think with that then?
Well, I know diets don't work. They certainly don't work with me, because I have absolutely no self-control. And I throw in the towel. If I'm denied anything, I'll want it more. And I really struggle with diets. And we've tried it, you know, juice diet and high carb diet and all this nonsense. And I don't want to do that. I want to eat stuff that I enjoy. I want to treat myself to the odd thing from time to time. And I'd rather up the exercise so that I can enjoy a balanced diet. I want to be healthy. I want to eat good, healthy food. But I don't want to restrict myself. I mean, I'm already having mental health issues, you know. If I deny myself nice stuff, I'm going to be a basket case. It'd be terrible. So yes, and I've lost weight on diets before, but it comes back and then some. So it's not about that at all. Diets don't work. Having, you know, just sensible decisions and sensible choices in your diet is a much better way forward, I think. And it's having that balance with your exercise, and it doesn't have to be mad, you know, doing a HIIT class or doing step or body pump or whatever. It's just getting your body moving and having done the yoga a couple of times.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday, It's been, oh my God, I'm hurting. I am hurting from yoga. Who knew? So I've had my body in shapes that I never knew was possible, quite frankly. And so I'm going to continue with that because as I get older, I know my mobility is slightly more challenging. So it's not about how fast I can run or how heavy a weight I can sort of do a sort of kind of chest press or whatever. It's about just moving the body and getting the muscles moving, and it just feels so much better. So yeah, I'm a competitive person, but not when it comes to, you know, lifting heavy weights or running fast or doing a half marathon or whatever. I don't need those sorts of challenges in my life. I just want to feel as if my body, I can stand up without groaning. That's all I want, you know. Get my jeans on without a coat hanger and stand up without going, ugh.
So really it's just getting that kind of, that's what you probably learned on this program, is just getting the balance right for the nutrition, eating healthily. Like, I don't believe in restrictions. I think that some of these diets are crazy. They're telling you to, the avocados, I'm not going to mention any specific diets, but like avocados is 14 sins, but a pint of beer is only 7. So what's healthier, the pint of beer or the...
Pint of beer, Daniel. Pint of beer.
No, Arlene. Erdinger, remember, alcohol-free with vitamins and minerals in it, okay?
I have it in the fridge.
So, have you got it? Have you really? Yeah. Brilliant. Fantastic. Yeah, these diets they're restrictive, and that's restricting something healthy from your diet. That has to be bad for you. One of my clients contacted me the other day and said, is it okay to have potatoes? I was like, well, why wouldn't you have potatoes? You know, because a slimming club said that potatoes are bad. You know, and potatoes have got vitamins, minerals, and fiber that are good for your heart. So why wouldn't you want to have something that's good for your heart? But on the other hand, you can have their sugary cereal bar. You can, you know, people count calories. I'm not a fan of counting calories either, because like that bar, it was an advert on TV yesterday, and it was like a fiber bar, and I stopped it and I paused it and I researched it, and I think per 100 grams of these bars was 30 grams of sugar.
Yeah,
that's your daily intake according to the NHS website right now. You know, okay, one bar has only got 90 calories in it, so I think it was like 10 or 15 grams of sugar per bar. Okay,
right.
So they think it's 90 calories. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to eat the sugar. So you could have 5 of them because that's only 500 calories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did yesterday, so
it wasn't too bad actually. I'm sure I've got your nutrition here, and it's it wasn't.
I did have a Magnum. Did you see? I noted that.
I've seen that number. I'm not sure if I'm going to count that as eating point number 5. You know, but again, you've started the day off really good. You've had porridge. You've had an orange for your mid-afternoon snack. You've had poached eggs, great, with some oatcakes. You've had a nice healthy evening meal there. Aubergine, and you know what? You've had a Magnum. It's not the end of the world, you know, because I've got your diet for the whole week, and it's not been as bad as that. In fact, there's Fridays, that was all the 5 eating points were good. Thursdays was the same. I think going back to Wednesday was good. Yeah, you've been okay. I did see it was sunny. You had a Magnum there. We need to get rid of the Magnums, you know.
And here's the thing: somebody bought them and put them in the freezer.
Somebody else's fault. So the psychology of eating, then it was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
it definitely was.
Even that 2 Magnums in a week isn't bad, considering you've been.
But here's the thing: I haven't had a Magnum for about 15 years, and I don't know why. I think I just felt the need this week. Weird, I know, and I think it's the change in the weather.
I mean, like I say, we've had 3 good weeks and one. I mean, that's not bad though. It's not like it's no. I think what people need to do is stop punishing themselves. That's another one.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Is it like people punish themselves to go on a quick fix and this is not a quick fix. This is a change in life, changing your habits. You know?
Yes, I know, and that's the thing, because then you know once you get into that routine of daily movement, I would even call it exercise, daily movement, and enjoying a balanced diet. And I actually prefer having a more balanced diet. And I need to up. I mean, I have quite a lot of veg at the moment, but I need to up some fruit and things like that, maybe a bit more sort of greens in my diet. But I generally have a fairly healthy diet, but and the long term, this is easy to maintain.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You know, I'm 52 now. By sort of 62, 72, God willing, I'm still here. This is an easy plan to follow. Yeah. You know, you plan it out and you make sure you put that time aside and you do it. And then you get into that habit, and then you hate it when you don't do it. It just doesn't feel right. And that's where I am with it. And I really enjoy getting out and doing the run and stuff. And, you know, it's not quite so windy today, so hopefully I'll get out and do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but diets do not work. They're short term. You might get a result, you know, but it won't last. And it's no way to live.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going back to that punishing yourself, not regretting. I don't regret enjoying myself.
No.
You know, so if I have an off day, then I'm not going to go, oh my God, that's it. I've ruined my whole week. That's it, gone. You know, I'm starting again on Monday. I just get back on it again today.
Yeah.
You know, and do some exercise, get some movement, like you say, you know, and stop beating yourself up. You know, like you've had 2 magnums, and okay, maybe we could look at why. We can have that offline, that conversation. But, you know, one might have been, I might have let you off with just the one anyway. But yeah, it's not about being restrictive. And I think if you look at the rest of the eating points, they were all spot on and really healthy. Okay, your exercise maybe hasn't got to plan this week, but the last 3 weeks has been really good. So we just need to make sure we pick
get back on it
again and get back on it, you know. And a lot of people are kind of waiting for the gyms and stuff to be open. I got a message from somebody the other day saying they're going to wait till the lockdown's over. I'm like, you know, in fact, she's coming up for 50 in October. She doesn't want to, she wants to be fit and healthy. She told me this is what she said to me, you know, yet she's going to wait for the lockdown. I don't understand it. You know, I don't think the gyms are going to suddenly reopen in the next, you know, obviously I'm based at a gym as well. So I am waiting to hear, but I don't think it's going to happen in the next few months. And that's why I've got a great online program that can actually change life right now and going forward and beyond. And my clients right now, like yourself, Arlene, getting results, you're getting fitter, you're getting healthier, you're adapting to the new normal. This is, you're not crippled with uncertainty. You're going all in. I think that's what my clients are doing just now. And you know, I'm reporting weight loss on a daily basis for clients that are looking to lose weight. They're dropping the pounds. They're not starving themselves. They're not going on a diet. They're not eating rubbish. You know, okay, they might have the odd wee magnum now and again. You know, but they're not on a diet. They're not on a diet. They're just on a better way of life. It's a lifestyle, and they're making behavioural changes. So we could look at the magnums and go, well, why? You know, this is what I do, and we're going to do this off the call in a second. You know, why did you make that choice? Was it your stress levels were high? You know, it's a better way to manage it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a better way of thinking of it, as opposed to, you know, you're not allowed this and you're not allowed that, and counting calories. And like I say, you could have 5 bars for 500 calories. It's like, but if they're full of sugar, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
People need to be educated on how to actually eat properly and simple, quite easy. Like, you submit your food to me every day. It's like 5 eating. How difficult is it?
Yeah, I know.
Like, you don't have to mess around with a fancy app. You don't have to, you know, count your macronutrients. And who cares? Who cares what a macronutrient? People just need to know how to eat healthy. If you're eating lots of fruit and veg, then your calorie intake will be low anyway.
Yeah.
You know, you'll have a healthy balance anyway. And for our clients who are losing weight, they're just doing the same process. They're following the same process. They're eating food. In fact, they're eating food same as their families. They're not going, oh, I'm going to make my family's meal and then make a separate meal for themselves, or a shake. Or I think somebody mentioned to me the other day they were on this like 600 calories per day. Like, of course you're going to lose weight. And it was like they were provided with these like horrible shakes.
No, I'd rather just end it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not for me.
So yeah, we need to get off this and get your training plan for a week. So thanks very much for your time today, Arlene.
You're
really
welcome.
Appreciated. We'll get on the phone just for 10 minutes just to plan you out the rest of the week. And there's got a few people commenting on the the page just now. It's quite cool. I can see it up in front of me. Jane's enjoying the chat. So hi, Jane. Really good interview. Doing stretches while listening, so that's good.
Oh, good. Well done, you.
Beverly said that, yeah, he has some effect, Arlene. Drags the honesty out of you, kicking and screaming.
That is for sure. Yeah.
So we're going to do a bit of kicking and screaming in a second.
Perfect.
I'll end that. So thanks again. Cheers. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.